Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Neki broadcast. We are playing Diggy on Hamlets, I believe. This is the map's name. And I will be playing Drake, which is an absolutely unforgiving race. However, it is extremely interesting to handle and leverage its capabilities against your opponent. Again, if you make slight miscalculations, you might be punished dearly. Anyway, I will stop rambling on and I will say I will clear my chat history, and I should be analyzing the map a bit because I want to 6, 7, because I do need to remember what 7 again. 7. Okay, 7. Wow. This is going to be a tough one because I do think I am susceptible to rushes. Therefore, I should be recruiting clashers. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure. Okay, this one's quick, so doesn't matter that much. However, it's really beneficial whenever you get a quick clasher because later on you could easily push with it. So it's not so lacking in mobility when compared to a Drakish fighter. Now, in terms of scouting, I do need one scout. Okay, I will perhaps 1, 6. Well, given everything, I will bank on a quick. It's a strong, resilient glider. It's pretty useless. Anyway, I will be getting this village, but this puts me in a terrible situation now because I need more clashers. I can't really be wasting gold on 2 gliders. If he is orc, it would be a really difficult situation for me as a 2 scout Drake versus orc. I simply don't feel it. And this has been, well, I guess I dug myself into a hole, and it's up to me to try to get out. There is my resilient glider, which should be capturing villages left and right. Now, in terms of my other recruits, I feel that because I went with 2 gliders, and I will be getting villages with absolutely every single one of my units. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, at least this. It's a blessing in disguise. At least this particular glider would be able to scout faster than expected and perhaps get a bit of intel on what the enemy is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I would be able to see pretty soon. Therefore, I'm going to bank a bit. I'm kind of forced into banking a bit simply because I went for 2 gliders. It's pretty easy, obviously. If you have more gliders, you will struggle in terms of defensive units because gliders are quite expensive, 16 gold. Defensive units are even more expensive, 19 gold for this clasher. Offensive units, 21 gold for the burner. Drake is a pretty expensive race, if you ask me. you need to be particularly careful in managing your finances. Now, I will try to recruit. Oh, I still don't see what he is, which makes me a bit nervous, to be fair. Not sure whether 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's pretty far away. So I won't worry about that, at least not for the moment. Now, in terms of my other recruits, I will go with another glide. Not another glider. Oh, that would be absolutely horrendous. Another clasher. Okay, so one more clasher, I feel. But at the same, okay, one more clasher. We do need one more clasher. There's no, okay, finally, the resilient strong clasher I was hoping for. It's always nice when you get that. And I will be banking for a bit simply because 29 gold would allow me to purchase any unit I please in the future. And it's Elf, ladies and gentlemen. And judging based on the slowness with which he pushed his units forward, I would say that he does have a wows or two, at least one. Let's not be let's not exaggerate. He definitely has one wows, I would say. Otherwise, this village would have been long taken. Or again, I might be a bit overly cautious and overly suspicious of my opponent's intentions. Okay. He does not seem to have a scary amount of scouts. Actually, I see no scout. That is interesting. If he does not have the scouts, it means that he will be incredibly slow in putting any kind of pressure. Now, I will try to stay away from forests. And I will try to go to the middle of the map, perhaps bait an attack. 4, 5, 6. Perhaps bait an attack from one of these archers or one of these fighters. Not sure, but definitely this represents a strong position for my glider. Now, he will definitely not attack, and I don't have the units to mount an attack this soon. However, I do intend to make a massive push forward during the first day, especially with burners. Okay, there is a scout. You always need a scout as elf. Now let's count. It's important to count the units, right? So we do have 4 fighters. That's approximately 56 gold plus 17 for an archer. That would be approximately 73. 73 plus 18. That would be approximately 91. So 91 gold. There is definitely one more expensive unit, like a WoWs, or 2 units coming. If I see 2 units coming, there's no WoWs. If I see only 1 unit, there's definitely a WoWs lurking somewhere, waiting for me to make a move and waiting for the perfect ambush. Now, in terms of strategy, I should be banking as much as possible. I'm sorry, it might seem a bit cheesy, but with this level of aggression, which is close to non-existent from my opponent, and by through no fault of his own, right? He's elf. He is a pretty defensive race. There's not much that he can do. Does he have a house here? That would be absolutely spectacular. I will try, simply because if he does have a wows here, somehow, some way, it's quite difficult to get the... Okay, no wows. However, I do see his leader. I'm not sure whether I should be pressing the issue, though. Don't see his recruits. Maybe it's time for me to go home. I'm quite safe on this side. 4. Okay, there it is. The shaman recruit. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is absolutely okay. He's basically bracing for the long game. He is planning to place his shaman behind his fighters, healing them while dealing, let's say, marginal damage to my units. And he is expecting to station his fighters in these high defense terrain tiles. And obviously, with high defense comes less damage, right? And I do agree with his strategy, to be honest. This is one particular thing that elves are good at, taking little damage and then healing. But I do want to break this this stalemate. He's not attacking me, therefore I should be attacking him. Now, in terms of units, I could be recruiting. It's very, very important to make the do the maths. So I could be recruiting 2 burners at this point. That would leave me with 4 gold. However, if I banked a bit, doesn't seem particularly efficient to bank at this point. However, he's not making any move, right? He's not pushing his fighters forward. He's not even scouting aggressively with his scout. Therefore, I'm not sure. Okay, maybe perhaps here. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Can't reach me. He can only reach me with the archer and with the scout. That's all he can do. Now he might catch on that I am not actually recruiting units, which might be a bit. I feel that I could recruit 1 burner at least, or an augur. We all need augurs. We do, because they heal the army, similar to how his shaman is healing the army. However, I do not want to reduce my income. I simply do not. Should this... Okay, I'm just going to recruit 1 augur. That should be fine. Augur. I want to be extremely greedy so I can mount an attack. If necessary, I will. These clashes are here mostly for dramatic effect. I'm basically saying, if you come close to me, I will absolutely destroy you. However, I don't intend to destroy anybody. I intend to bank, and we'll see what happens. It's just too fun to... I'm basically being... I'm applying centuries old strategy from Napoleon, right? Napoleon was saying, or Napoleon had a soldier which was saying, whenever you are weak, you should show your opponent that you are strong. So I'm very, very weak. I have basically no units. However, I'm showing my opponent that I am extremely strong, right? So I don't know what my opponent is about to do, but if he's going to attack me, I'm going to be a bit sad, because I want it for as a joke. Let's call it that. But also a joke with a bit of a lesson tied to it, right? I wanted to show you guys how important it is to show that you are indeed powerful, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units are basically keeping at bay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a whole elvish army. And I can assure you, somewhere in those woods, there is a Wows lurking. I feel it. Not only I feel it, but the maths is telling me. Because remember our previous calculation. I told you that if we see 2 units coming our way, then probably he didn't recruit the Wows. We saw only 1 unit. This doesn't, however, mean there wasn't another unit behind that shaman. It could have very well been, right? So we'll see. We shall see. I'm really curious. I'm sure he wants desperately to attack this glider. If he does attack the glider, I intend to do absolutely nothing about it. Simply because I don't have the manpower to destroy these elves. I can't simply handle all these elves, and he went for it. I think he called my bluff. It might have been. He might have had he might have sensed that something was not right, and I might have single-handedly gotten myself in a really sticky situation, right? I do have some clashes lying around, but this cannot absolutely cannot this cannot absolutely this cannot deal with an elvish invasion. And there's the elvish invasion coming my way. He finally caught wind of the fact that I had absolutely nothing in my defenses. He realized that I was a bit bluffing, and he's pushing forward. However, I do think it might be a bit too late, and something else happened. He actually helped my strong, resilient glider gain a bit of experience. However, you see this line, right? You see the line. He's forming a line. There was no need for a line. He should have pushed his units as far away as possible. So it kind of half worked, right? So my strategy was not that bad. It kind of half worked, I would say. For example, these units can't really be too aggressive, and I should be putting my gliders on the villages, and I should be fine, to be honest. There's no reason why I shouldn't be fine. Now, in terms of my recruits, I know this game is going to probably go a bit into the 3rd night or 4th night. Therefore, I'm going to recruit the most expensive units possible, which are burners, simply because I am investing now and I'm reducing my income, although it doesn't seem like it's reducing. I'm reducing my income, and I will be recruiting a augur simply because I was a bit cheeky, to be honest. Okay, they're having a tournament. That is interesting. Anyway, we're going to see about the tournament. If you guys would like me to cast some games from the tournament, please let me know. Place some comments. Okay, no units coming. There's definitely Wows lurking somewhere. I'm going to place these on villages. And now he can do whatever he pleases. Plus, now remember the tactics. Show that you are indeed strong. I will try to basically discourage an attack. I don't even care which attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely not going to attack on this side, I can tell you. So I'm going to place it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both attacks. I'm not going to do it. I can tell you already. This leader is just having a walk for fresh air. My leader is not going to attack anything, no matter what happens. My leader is going to go back and recruit. However, I am trying to keep my opponent guessing, because this is a mark of a good leader. And I will be, yes, I'll be keeping my glider somewhere in the middle of the map. Should be fine. That should be good enough. I'm satisfied with this lineup. And now we shall see what happens. Perhaps he also caught wind of my banking strategy and he's also banking a bit. I'm not sure. However, so my strategy would be at this point, he does have a lot of fighters. And those fighters are going to be extremely difficult to kill. They do have fairly high amounts of hit points. At the same time, they have excellent defense and extremely good retaliation, both melee and ranged. They have a quite balanced mix of damage, right? Therefore, me attacking without a well-prepared army into a bunch of fighters on forests, hills, and mountains and villages would most likely result, strategically speaking, in defeat. I might not lose the war immediately, but I'll definitely lose the battle. And the battle would provide, the first battle would provide my opponent with enough of an advantage to win the next battle and eventually win the whole war. Anyway, he basically tried to force me to recruit some units. I was going to recruit units anyway, simply because a night was coming. Now I will recruit another ogre. Because double healing, ogres healing themselves, that's overpowered, if you ask me. Shamans healing themselves, also a bit overpowered. Plus, they represent a good addition in terms of magic damage to your army. Now, I will try to show that I am very committed to this attack. I will push my units forward in extremely aggressive positions so that he believes that I will go through with the attack. Of course, if he doesn't recruit anything, and if he does make a mistake, and if he does have poor positioning, then I will take advantage. I will seize that opportunity. It's not like I'm not going to do anything no matter what happens. I do have a sizable army at the end of the day. It's not like in the beginning, when I was completely bluffing, right? So I do have some soldiers to back my ambitions up. Now, let's see what's going on here. I'm not too worried. Okay, I see the recruits. Okay, I see the recruits. I see them being fighters. And what I am going to do, I am going to push forward. And I am going to show that I mean business. I'm not going to be scared. Not going to be intimidated. He can do whatever he wants. Not a problem with me. And I will be recruiting another ogre. Okay. There you go. This particular glider is out in the open. I'm not too bothered about that. I am going to actually place my clasher forward and this other clasher forward as well. I believe this one should be good enough. So basically I'm making a statement. Look, you want to take my village, take it. There's no way he's taking this village. His scout will die in an instant. Plus, I do believe he is a player who really parts very um, very, let's say, he's really attached to his units, right? He doesn't really like to part way with his units. And anyway, I will be moving forward with this attack, and it's a bit of a, let's say, posturing situation, right? Similar to Brexit negotiations. Everybody says, I'm not going to give you this, I'm not going to give you that. They do this for 11 months and 2 weeks, and then in the final 2 weeks, they agree to everything. Finally, people start to move, right? This is going to be the story of this game. I'm not doing anything. He's not doing anything. At one point, there's going to be a big fight that will decide the story of this game. However, the important thing is who decides where the fight takes place. Very important where. Is it in my defense? On these hills and villages and in these swamps? Or is it close to his castle? You might argue that whoever defense has an advantage, right? The well-known defender's advantage. But at the same time, terrain composition is quite important. Also, village occupation is equally important. Whoever occupies a village will have an advantage in terms of income. The longer you can keep the village, the longer you can maintain that advantage, and the longer you create opportunities for your army to reinforce. Um, Anyway, I would say that with me being Drake, I would be the decider of that simply because I have more mobility. However, I should not underestimate my opponent. He might have wowzers who might catch me off guard. However, with these two burners, I should be able to deal with any tree shenanigans my opponent might throw at me. Also, it might not be wise to attack too quickly, right? So it's the timing question. When do I attack? Do I attack early? Do I wait to build up my army? While I build up my army, my opponent is building up his. Do I do a two prone attack, or do I keep my army in a big, compact ball of units that I will later use to roll over my opponent? In this on this map, it all comes down, and especially versus a defensive race as elves, it all comes down to when and where will that big fight take place. Anyway, I will be trying to, so just to give you guys a heads up, I'll be trying to have the fight on the left hand side, especially since I see his units, most of them, I mean some of them, a big majority of them. Anyway, now I would like to see what he is up to, and probably I should scout a bit. Okay. That's a lot of fighters. I could probably try to cut him off. However, he might just go all in on my glider. Plus, I need to stay away from forests. I can't stress that enough. I will try to... Okay. No. I've just said I need to stay away from forests, and there is my glider next to a forest. However, he can't get the mountain, therefore I should be fine. So he would need to get the forest, put some damage in. This glider will also be absorbing experience, not only damage, but it will be also absorbing experience, which is equally important, I would say. Now, in terms of my other units, I would just be pushing them forward. And I will be doing some intimidation tactics. You might just go all in and attack my units. However, I doubt that. Unless he can slow, for example, this glider, and then take this forest and try to cause some... So he could go and attack everything with all his units. He could do that. That's not out of the question, by all means. But at the same time, I will be retaliating fiercely on all fronts. Plus, I am kind of closing down. I mean, he can't, because of this water, he can't really unite his forces in one big attack. Anyway, let's try to get these I really don't know right now. I think now it's the best time to see what your opponent does, right? You've made a statement. You have your units in the middle of the map, ready to go either way. And now it's up to your opponent to organize his defense. If he organizes his defense too well, I'm just not going to proceed with my attack. That easy. Therefore, I'm going to bank a bit, because I do want to make the most of my extremely advanced position. I am denying his scouting. I am denying his observability. He has almost zero observability of my, let's say, if this was a football match, this would be the box, right? He has zero observability of my box. Therefore, he does not know whether I'm reinforcing, what kind of unit composition I'm reinforcing with. Therefore, I want to be able to retreat gracefully while I build up my banking reserves. And with these banking reserves, I hope that in the future, I will overwhelm him, right? However, this depends on, obviously, him not simply saying, okay, I'm just going to use all my fighters and attack. Probably, if I were him, I would grab this terrain. That's actually a nice swathe of land right? So he could put this fighter on the mushrooms. He could put another fighter on the hill, and then he could use his archer from the forest, and he could be attacking my burner. That would be a very strong and valid strategy. And there would be nothing I could do, because then he would have his army organized very well. So this is basically me saying, okay, you want to fight? Let's see it. This is your chance. This particular burner is not... Okay, there he is, exactly as I predicted. I'm getting a bit too much damage in. I'm getting worried, guys. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that fighter. 15. Now, he does have to use his archer. He might use the dexterous one, which would mean 7/7. So I need to dodge 2 out of 4. I hope it means 7/7. I hope I'm not going to take 8 damage because of this pierce. I might get 8 damage. I might die in 2 hits. Oh no. He went with the non-resilient. Oh, I died anyway. Oh, that's just a shame, isn't it? However, he's not able to get the mountain. He's not able to get the mountain. I might be able to kill I might be now it's what do I do in response, right? I might be able to go for this archer, and I might be able to finish him off with the gliders. That would be an option, definitely. I might want to go for the fighter instead, simply because fighter is just an easier target, right? I don't know at this point. I want to put my ogre on the mountain because it's 60%. But then at the same time, I kind of want to put my... Whoever is on the mountain would have... Okay. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt me a lot. Now, it's really important how I play this. Now, I do want to obviously kill as many units as possible. So I am going to go for this. I'm going to go for this fighter. I'm not sure whether I should use my ogre on this fighter or on this archer. What I will be doing, I will be using my... I don't know, guys. I'm a bit at a loss at this moment in time. I do want to do too many things at once, I feel. Okay, that was fortunate. I managed to finish off the fighter with the burner. That was fortunate. Now I can occupy this swathe of land, which offers good defense, I dare to say. Now, in terms of my strategy, I do have some... I could go for this strong, resilient fighter. However, what kills me at this point are the archers, especially this resilient archer. I just don't know whether I should be going for it or not. I do want to use this resilient quick clasher, and I do want to keep some. I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, that was good. That was good. I won't lie. That was relatively decent. Now, I could go for another clasher on this particular side, 9, and then I would need 4 with this. Yeah, so that would be okay, I would think. Yeah, if I could get one particular hit, one hit. That's all I need, one hit. Okay, I got 2 hits. Not my fault. I got 2 hits, even better. So life gives you lemons. You make lemonade. Now, I could even think about killing this particular fighter here. Now the question is, do I put the Saurian on the... I think I should put my Saurian back. I think this is what I should be doing. Okay, dealt some damage. The Saurians are not connected, but this means that I can cover more area, right? So I want to be able to... Okay, I need 2 hits. I'm thinking of going with these... Okay, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. So far, I think I was a bit lucky in this exchange. Yes, I've inflicted more than I've taken in terms of damage. Now, it's important not to overextend, right? So he can slow my units down. He definitely could. He could try to... it's important that I keep, for example, here, right? I don't let him hit my burner from too many sides. Now, I would say I would even want to do this, but then he would hit my glider. However, who is more important, a glider or a burner? Oh, you decide, but I can tell you that. I like my burner more. I'm even willing to sacrifice a glider. And I'm saying, okay, you want to kill my glider? Fair enough. You need to go around this forest. Kill my glider. Not a problem. Now, in terms of the other glider, I want him to be able to help as well. Now, I'm not sure. I think this particular clasher is fine. It's fine because it's strong resilience. So I'm going to just scout with my glider. That's all I want to do. And I want to be recruiting an augur and at the same time a skirmisher, just so I could maintain my attack at night. Now, if there's a wows jumping from, for example, this forest, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't expect him to jump now. But if there is a wows jumping from one of these forests, then oh, that hurt. That hurt. I thought 60% was, but now he could lead his units into battle. However, I don't expect him to do that. Why? Because he would need to come with his leader on this particular tile, and then I could tell you he would be absolutely... Oh no, that's the problem with skirmishers. They are quite they are indeed quite they indeed die quickly. They are quite squishy. So that was my mistake, I would say. If I wanted to really preserve that augur, I should have I should have maybe protected him with a glider, but then the glider would have died, similar to what happens on the left-hand side, right? So I'm saying, okay, go for the glider, surround him, but the glider might die, right? So I don't know. That was painful. That was painful to watch. I do believe I was a bit okay. This turn it kind of balances out, right? So he dealt a lot of damage versus my 60%, so luck kind of balances out, which is fair enough. And that's the problem with the shaman. Basically, he's saying you're not going back. However, this is a quick clasher. He will be able to go back reasonably well. And that's the problem with attacking into these into this terrain, right? He has the forest. Okay, he's going for it. That was my idea as well. So I basically made a statement saying that if you want to... Oh, that was close, ladies and gentlemen. That requires him to use 1 extra unit, which is what I wanted. I basically want him to use, use this spot, X spot, right? Because if he doesn't use X spot, let's say he uses Y spot, right? Let's say Y marks the spot. He could use Y marks the spot, but at the same time, he has to cover this village, the other village. Okay, he used X marks the spot. Now, this should be a dead scout, and I am particularly keen on killing the scout because, as you all know, information means power, right? So if he does not have... observability of my troops' movement, it means I can do a lot of damage. Now, in terms of trying to exchange units, my drakes are quite expensive. Therefore, it's not towards my advantage to exchange units, to be honest. However, I do have these reinforcements, and I will be able to continue my attack. And I also think that if I do manage to kill 2 or 3 units, even if the exchange happens, I don't know. The thing is, I'm slowed, so I'm not really sure what I should be doing at this point. Because this scout is particularly expensive, I'm kind of keen to kill it, and it's also on 50%. But at the same time, I just feel that I need to deal a lot of damage at this point. So I'm going for it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking advantage of the afternoon, what the afternoon has to offer. And I will be basically using also my burner. And hopefully I should finish off the fighter with my burner. There it is. So experience gathering up in the burner. Now, in terms of damage, I will deal significant amount of damage to this particular scout, even if it's, even if this is slowed, simply because scout is, say it's obviously vulnerable to pierce. I only need 2 attacks, and this is an important kill. Yeah, that was an important kill. So I needed these 2 units killed. Now, another important tile is this forest between X and Y. This forest is important because he must not take it. I must be the one taking it. Now, in terms of grabbing the villages, this is going to be a mess because I can't really grab the village with a Saurian ogre. Or I could, but that would be more than suboptimal. At the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh God, this is going to be a mess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least I had a lucky break with this skirmisher. And now the question is, do I take the village or do I take the forest and deal some damage? The village would give me gold, obviously, but then it will also give him a target to attack with his fighters, right? But at the same time, I just don't know what to say. I feel that I should be able to deal more damage into this archer. Okay, that was fine. That was worth it. Because now I'm really not interested in the village. I'm just interested in dealing more damage, right? He could even take the forest. I don't really care at this point. So he's too low to make any significant. I don't know, to be honest. It's really difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will be able to deal a lot of damage to him. My only worry is that there is a Wows here lurking in the dark, waiting to make my life miserable. So that is the question of the game. Do I take this forest and do I deal some damage? I might get a lot of damage back. So it's not this archer. It's not a particularly, let's say, particularly interesting, right? It's not a particularly interesting target. But at the same time, I'll get to heal these 2 units. Or do I get the village and basically I cut off his reinforcements with a very high chance that my ogre will die to 2 elvish fighters. I'm going to go for the archer. Wish me luck, guys. Oh, that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. That was better than I thought. So finally 60% started working. And now he will have, instead of having the village problem, he will have a unit problem. And remember, he's the kind of guy that really cares about his units. So he might go ahead and sacrifice his archer on one of my drakes, right? So he might go ahead and attack the clasher or something like that. Now he's worried about the experience building up in the burner, so he's going to attack it with absolutely everything he has. But at the same time, he has to worry about this clasher. He has to worry about these units regenerating, about the ogre. He has to also worry about these reinforcements. So you see, he's going to basically use the archer and lose it, right? There's no way he can protect the archer unless he can kill this clasher, which he probably will with some retribution damage from my side. That's why I don't agree with him attacking the burner. Maybe he wanted to see whether he will attack the burner or not, whether he will get the burner low enough to use the fighter. Now he kind of needs to kill the clasher, but at the same time, the shaman does not do much. He will need to basically go around and, well, he could slow the clasher, and then he could finish off the clasher with the fighter. That would be an option, a strong option, but at the same time, this archer will die relatively quickly. You see, I don't need to, as long as I'm the one, there's an exchange happening. As long as I'm the one doing 2 kills ahead of my opponent, I am fine, right? Okay, there it is. I was a bit, so he went actually with the shaman on the village, which is on the hill, which is better, to be honest. And then he finished off the clasher with the elvish fighter. But now remember, dusk is coming, and I have chaotic units joining the fight. This was done on purpose, obviously, because I was making a statement. I'm going to stay and fight. Therefore, I should reinforce with chaotic units because the fight is going to go well into the night, right? So I did this on purpose. However, this might come back and haunt me later on, or even now, to be honest, because there's the sneaky fighter trying to do sneaky plays. Now, in terms of, I should fully maximize the usage of my units and the experience management. For example, I should put some experience into this clasher, and I should probably push him forward. Okay, that's nice. Now, any kill this clasher makes, then I will be extremely happy for obvious reasons. Now, in terms of the other units, I should probably, well, I'm being a bit overly aggressive now, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't be this aggressive, but I do want to, this particular burner should get a kill, and then it will be fine. So maybe I could put the burner behind and try to work on this fighter. So maybe try to work on this fighter with my Saurians. Those were decent hits. Okay. And now I should probably treat my fighter, my burner. So my burner is going to hopefully finish off. Yes, that's fine. Now I have good experience on the burner as well. Now, in terms of closing down the front, I could be trying to, not sure, to be honest. Do want to hit this shaman for cost. Also putting the, oh, that was painful. 2 out of 2 on 60%. That was painful. Now, in terms of this fighter is on 60%. If he wants to kill anything, he will have to go on the hill. I do think he will basically use everything he has on my clasher, and the clasher will die. However, I do have the burner as a saving grace, so might as well deal some damage into the shaman, because the shaman is the one who is extremely pesky. And there it is. That was a bit lucky, I admit. My attacks have gone terribly fine today. And now he basically has, all I need to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm a bit. Okay, he will definitely try to kill one of these shamans, right? So all I need to do is stay calm and perhaps, let me see. Okay, at this point, I just want to be recruiting units. So I'll be recruiting another skirmisher. Probably not the best choice. Probably I should bank for one turn. And but at the same time, okay. I do want him to, okay, he's definitely going for the clasher. However, he does want to go for the glider instead. I do want to make him his life difficult, but if he's going for the glider, I really don't care. He can go for the glider all he wants. So he can come with the leader here. He can use all his fighters on my glider. That is fine. Then I will have 2 units almost leveling up, which will be actually towards my advantage. Okay, let's have a look now. What will happen now? He has a lot of fighters. Okay. I'm way ahead in terms of kills. So my shamans were squishy, but his shamans are also squishy. That is a lucky break for me. I didn't get 3 out of 3 on the augur. That is obviously helpful. And any unit, he does need now 3 out of 3. That's how he should play. Because he's a bit behind through no fault of his own. I had some lucky attacks. If I killed, let's say, 1 less unit each turn, then maybe things would have looked differently. So now he should be the one taking risks. However, it's difficult to take risks versus clashes. It is a bit, let's say, disheartening, right? So you attack a clasher, you're planning a kill, capturing your opponent, taking him outside of the board, and then the clasher deals a ton of damage. Now he will have to use, yes, he will have to use melee attacks. He only got 1 hit in, so that was better than expected, to be fair. He did deal a lot of damage to my glider, and you see drakes also, they die quite easily, to be fair. Now, in terms of my experience management, I should be able to, that this is a problem now, because okay, so I should be very, very careful here. I should make sure I advance my burner at this point. So I should be sure I advance my burner at this point, but it's difficult to make sure. I might, I just don't know at this point. I might do something of this sort. I might do. Okay. That is also a good recipient of my experience, right? So I have another unit ready to level up, right? Now it's extremely dangerous to keep these augurs on 40%. They die very easily. Now I didn't want that. If you can believe it, I didn't want that. I wanted my experience in my burner, right? I wanted to level him up. Now it would be extremely difficult. I would have to basically go for one of these fighters, and they will deal tremendous amounts of damage, right? So I will have to risk it. I'm going for it. Oh, 3 out of 3. That always hurts. That always hurts. What can I say? And I'm going to go for broke, like they say. Probably not the best of ideas to go for this fighter. But if this succeeds, then I will be more than fine. So I do need now one hit with the glider. And I hope I don't die, actually, because he might kill me. And if he kills me, he will be so close to leveling up. I also might go for... Oh God, this is difficult. This is difficult choices to make. Although I will not experience, I will not level up my burner, right? I will not level up my burner. I actually place some damage into the fighter. Fighter is actually quite low. He has a lot of targets to kill, and he basically has 4 fighters, and he has 4 targets. He could kill them all. Don't get me wrong. However, I do have reinforcements coming. So he might just end up killing all of them. He might very well end up killing all of them, and there's nothing I will be able to do to stop him. What I will try to do, I will try to pillage some villages in return, and I will try to also stop him from recruiting. I don't know whether I should go for... probably should go for this. So if he's going for all my units, I at least have skirmishers to threaten the leader, or at least finish off some of his fighters, or occupy the villages. And I'll just keep recruiting skirmishers at this point. And this one is quick. Lucky me. Now, let's see what happens next. Probably going to be a massacre in terms of my units. Most of my units will die. It also depends what he uses. For example, how he manages his experience. Where does the experience go? If he has a wows here somewhere, then that would be a game changer. I was a bit too courageous, I feel, a bit too cavalier about my last play, and as a result, I might lose all my units. There it goes. 1 unit died. My second unit will die as well, probably, most likely. Oh my God, this is it's just going to be a massacre. I played unnecessarily courageous, to be honest. That is just a bit reckless, to be fair. However, oh my God, that must hurt. The fact that particular guy survived, that must hurt him a lot. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I will definitely need to finish off this fighter, and I will be retreating with my augur to fight another day. And yeah, he needs to go back and recruit. He absolutely does. He can't just keep staying here, not recruiting, and I will even be able to get this village. If that would be a bit, let's say, impolite, almost impolite. Now, in terms of what am I doing here, I want to be able to... I just don't know. It just feels I should, by all means, try to attack. Okay, I will go for the obvious play, which is just finish off the fighter. I don't care about anything else. And then I will be getting the villages. And now I could even take this particular village. There is nothing he can do about it. Absolutely nothing, because he absolutely has to recruit. So, really don't know what will happen next. I am half tempted to stop recruiting skirmishers. I will be recruiting augurs, I feel. And I will be coming back with this particular... Let me see. Is this dexterous resilient? 4, 5. Okay, 6. That should be fine, to be honest. That should be fine. I can even attack, because he's struggling for villages, right? He's struggling for region at this point. So whatever damage I can deal that would be well invested damage. He will definitely go for my Ogre. He will definitely kill it, finish it off. I was a bit reckless with my experience. This is the only thing keeping him in the game at this point. But at the same time, I did pillage a lot of villages, and it would take him a very, very long time to win them back. Now, in terms of... Okay, and now if he's going to miss with this one as well, then it's going to be... well, it would have been too good to be true, right? So you see, there's nothing he can do. He will probably recruit fighters. Yes, fighters are great versus skirmishers. That is an excellent choice. However, I think I've reached the critical mass of units, and now I can even attack this fighter, finish him off. Not a problem. So let me see, how much damage do I deal? I think I deal enough. Say... Okay, and then could even... If I would grab this village, it would be very, very... It will hurt him a lot. At the same time, maybe it would be a good idea to put experience in the... It's just... It's really important that I finish off his units. So I will try first to finish off with the skirmisher. Okay, that worked out well. And now I really don't care about the villages, because I can grab this village, which would be extremely difficult to win back. Now, in terms of my other units, I'll be healing and then healing some more. Probably I'll go for another night attack. Or, in order to help me a bit with these fighters, I will be going for another burner. Attack units only, or pillaging units. And I will be threatening some more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some more villages. I could have also done this, right? Can reach the village. So this should be it. I'm playing basically as an orc, as if I had grunts with skirmish though, which is not the brightest of ideas, simply because these fighters can kill you pretty easily. Well, apparently not. Being a bit lucky here, but it doesn't really matter. Getting the kills. Probably he's going to concede right now. So lessons to be learned from this game is that I decided where the fight took place, and the fight was going to take place on the left-hand side. I wasn't going to attack. I was just going to impress him. However, he basically gave in and attacked me. I was, fair luck in the beginning. So he killed one of my units. He did kill the burner, which was the unit he went for initially. Then I did get my hits in, and I managed to clean up some of his units. And from there on, there was a continuous exchange, and I followed up that exchange with skirmishers, which have proven to be problematic versus his fighters, which have low mobility. Now, in terms of my follow-up strategy, I will be healing all these skirmishers now, because, okay, they are really useless this time of day. They are very mobile, highly mobile, but a bit useless in the daytime. And I will try to put some pressure. Don't know why I did that. He probably won't be able to. He probably won't attack me here, to be honest. And I will be recruiting more burners. Later on, I will be reinforcing with clashers. So I'll just put this in a more advanced position. Why not? In terms of my villages, I probably should have done that. Probably should have put this to the other location. simply because I do need some units on this side, and I kind of forgot about that side. It's easy to forget when you're ahead. Probably this particular skirmisher is going to die. But I believe it doesn't matter at this point, because now he needs to get all his units to grab that village again. It will take ages to grab all his villages. I have basically 3 villages extra when compared to my opponent, and I'm about to mount a day attack. Okay, there's an archer, and I will be recruiting fighters now. And I am very close to actually level up my ogre. The only reason we are still in this game is because of my poor experience management. I prioritized villages over units, and I think that might cost me a bit. Not sure. I need to double check here. Okay, there is the sneaky fighter. I will start recruiting. The beauty about fighters is that they are quite quick, and the beauty of my leader is that it's quite intimidating. In terms of my ogre, I'll keep him on the village. I feel that I should be simply regenerating at this point. There's no reason to do anything else. He is probably going to go for my Drake glider. That would be fine. I don't mind that. If he goes with everything he has, I'll be able to take the village, and I'll be able to station my unit in the village overnight. I am preparing for a night attack or a follow-up. Okay. That was a bit unexpected, to be honest. Oh, that hurt. That hurt so bad. However, he still hasn't gotten back the village, right? Oh, actually, the glider survived. So he still hasn't gotten back. He still hasn't gotten back the village. Yeah, that was lucky on my part. But even if he killed the glider, he would still not get the village back. So yeah, don't know what to say. Okay. There we are. Now, I do believe this particular fighter went back a bit too much, because he could have still kept me in that particular location. So I will be recruiting more augurs, and I will be pushing my units forward as usual. And I don't think there's anything else that he can do at this point, because I will be occupying villages and I will not be going back. I should have probably done something with this glider. I should have probably run away. That would have been painful if I ran away. However, I do want to keep his units here. So that is just... You see, so, but now he still didn't get the village and he has to go back to recruit. So it's just so painful. It's painful to watch, to be honest. In terms of units that are coming up, they are going to be more burners and more fighters, and it's going to be hopefully an easy fight for myself during the evening. I am going to hold this here, and I'm going to bring back. So this should be fine here. Now this army is not going to go anywhere anytime soon, so I can even put, just put pressure, move units forward, no reason to be. And the name of the game is Fighters. the more the better. They are the perfect counter to elves, and I had none of them in the beginning. But now that I have enough villages to recruit whatever my heart desires, there's no reason not to recruit fighters. To be honest, my opponent should have conceded by now, but to be fair, it's everybody should concede the game the way they feel like, and I had a bit of luck in the critical fight, so props to him. He did make the game last very long. He played well. He made the right decisions, I feel, but well, except the initial fight, I feel the timing wasn't very appropriate. So he only killed one of my units, and he did get one or two of his units out of position. So that is a bit unfortunate, to say the least. Now, in terms of my plays, I will be trying to maximize my damage. I will be going in with all my units. So I will be going in with, let's see, 32. Okay, not sure. Might as well go in. I'm ahead. And now I will be dealing some magical damage. And some more magical damage. And now some skirmisher damage, hopefully. Quick resilient, resilient quick. They're both the same, more or less. And now some, don't even know, just some random moves at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Basically, that should be it. Moving units forward at this point. And Drake, I feel, does have a bit of an advantage. You really need to be aggressive versus Drake in the beginning of the game. Now he's going to try to deal a lot of damage to my fighter. Normally, I shouldn't have placed my fighter next to the castle. But at this point, it doesn't matter because I am quite ahead. And he will be recruiting, I expect, 2 units maybe. Maybe 2 units. 2 units. 2 fighters, more or less. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, he was banking for quite some time because he was chasing my units in the forests. And now, normally, in order to make sure that I win the game no matter what, I should be retreating. However, all know I won't be doing that. I will be trying to finish him off. However, I lack the damage and all his units are on the... Okay, now it will be easier. I will basically go for this unit. So I will go here. And I would basically get a healer. And after that, I will try to... obviously get more damage possible. Now in terms of this archer, we'll be trying to get at least one lucky hit. No, well, luck was on my side almost the whole game, so I won't complain. I will put the burner here, and I will... I will try to finish off this archer. And that's how you lose the game. You are being overconfident. Anyway, I really don't think it matters at this point, but you know, this is how usually you lose. You think you're invincible, you think the game is already won, and somehow, some way, you just all your units start being attacked, and your opponent gets some lucky hits in. You are extremely unlucky, and then the game slips through your fingers. I do hope this will not be the case here. He does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, and he does have a lot of targets in terms of my drakes. And he might be able to kill most of them, especially those which are near the castle. They are quite easy targets, I would say. Well, or not. Maybe not that much. That was a strong fighter, so that was a lot of potential damage missed. This one is also strong though. So, super skirmisher again. That must feel annoying. We'll see if he concedes or not. I do have reinforcements coming from all over the place. Okay. There it is. Nice experience management. And now he should be able to finish off this fighter. And yeah, what can I tell you? Now it's just a case of how quickly can I finish off his units. It's a nice survival for him, and he's playing this survival quite well. Oh, that was quite a lot of damage from my, and those were a lot of units killed, to be fair. So he did do significant amount of damage for me. Now I will go for the leader, I think. And there is the GG. I'm thinking of going for the leader. Not sure. Could try it, maybe not. Maybe it will be just safer to go for the normal play, which is basically this one. That's quite risky, to be honest, from my part. But at the same time, I feel that I owe it to my opponents. There it is. So I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.